Willpower is much more than a simple ability to say no. It is one of the most complex and vital forces of resistance in the human mind. The invisible wall we encounter when we want to build a new habit or end an established automated one is actually the painful process inherent in change. Our brains are programmed to run habits on autopilot to save energy. Every attempt to disrupt this status quo is met with biological resistance. This ability of a human being to withstand this internal pain, the pull of the comfort zone, and the resistance of change is what we call willpower. In real life, willpower manifests itself in the micro battles we engage in every day. Being able to say not now to an appetizing meal when there is a goal of achieving a healthy body, continuing to focus on work when feeling mentally exhausted, or not giving in to the intense urge created by an addictive habit are concrete manifestations of willpower. Being a strong-willed individual means not just being disciplined, but getting one step closer every day to the ideal version of oneself that one has constructed in their mind. Developing willpower is not like trying to find one's way in the dark. It is a strategic engineering process. The first step in this process is an honest analysis of the current situation. Many people set out with a vague desire such as "I want to be more disciplined," but goals that lack clarity confuse the mind. Exactly what a person needs and what kind of ideal self they imagine must be clarified in full detail. This is not just a result, but a way of being. The more specific, measurable, and time-bound goals are, the healthier the development process will be. Instead of a vague goal like "I want to feel better," a specific goal should be set, such as "I want to start the day fresh by walking for 20 minutes every morning and reduce my anxiety levels during the day." Questioning the actual intention behind this definition is the fuel for willpower. It matters whether the desire to be wealthy is just for money or for freedom, or whether the desire to look healthy is for the approval of others or to be at peace with one's own body. As the intention becomes clearer, willpower strengthens. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. An individual who wants to strengthen their willpower must find where the string breaks in their own system. By reviewing past failure scenarios, one should analyze whether they usually give up when tired or take refuge in old habits during stressful moments. If exactly where the giving up occurs is identified, the construction site of change can be built upon that weak point. When a person does not know where they are lacking, general prescriptions that fit everyone do not work. This situation requires a personalized treatment. Sometimes the problem is not a lack of willpower, but simply the imposition of the wrong methods or conditions that do not suit the person's character. In modern psychology, it is accepted that willpower works like a muscle. It develops as it is used, but gets tired when overloaded. The way to develop this muscle is through the skill of delayed gratification. In daily life, distancing oneself from small habits that have no positive effect on development but provide instant pleasure fills the willpower reservoir. Digital fasts, such as not checking a notification on your phone immediately or staying away from social media for an hour. Nutritional disciplines like refusing an unnecessary candy, or behaviors that disrupt comfort, such as not lying down in front of the television early just because it is a habit even when you are not sleepy, are examples of this. These small no's strengthen the control center in the brain, ensuring more resilience during major moments of crisis. Our minds wake up every day with a limited amount of willpower energy, and every choice spends a portion of this reserve. It is no coincidence that people usually break their diets or have difficulty with anger control at the end of the day. Willpower energy has been depleted. Thinking every day about routine decisions such as what to wear in the morning, what to eat for lunch, or which way to go to work tires the mind unnecessarily. People with strong willpower tie these small details of life to standards and principles. Preparing the clothes to be worn the next day and planning the meal one evening in advance saves the energy that would be spent making decisions the next day. Creating routines for the general flow of life allows willpower to be saved for the critical and challenging moments where it is actually needed. In tasks that seem impossible to start or in impulses that are hard to resist, the 10-minute rule is literally a lifesaver. This rule is the most effective way to trick the mind. to take action. For example, when a report needs to be written or the house needs to be tidied, but there is no desire to do so, the person should make a deal with themselves to do it for only 10 minutes and stop if they still don't want to continue. Usually, once that initial 10-minute friction is overcome, the rest of the action follows naturally. To show resistance when an urge to smoke or eat an excessive sweet arrives, one should grant themselves 10 minutes and say, I won't eat it now. I'll think about it again in 10 minutes. Scientifically, these impulsive attacks are like waves. They peak within 10 minutes and then subside. When the time is up, it will be seen that the intensity of the desire has diminished. Willpower rests on a biological foundation. It is biochemically more difficult for someone who does not take care of their body, sleeps irregularly, and eats poorly to show willpower. It is observed that individuals who have discipline in matters of nutrition and movement are more successful in other areas of life as well. A short 10-minute exercise in the morning, or permanently removing a harmful substance like acidic beverages from the diet list, gives the person a sense of having control over their own life. These small victories create a wave of general fortitude and self-confidence. The biggest obstacle on the journey of willpower is all or nothing thinking. Many people completely give up when they fail to follow their plan for one day or break their diet for one meal, saying everything is ruined anyway. However, willpower is not about never falling, but about being able to stand up quickly when you do fall. What matters is not uninterrupted perfection, but the flexibility to continue from where you left off when there is a disruption. Small lapses or mistakes in between can be compensated for. This realistic perspective increases self-discipline and long-term stability by eliminating unnecessary feelings of guilt. To use willpower energy efficiently, one should start with the most difficult task, the one that meets the most resistance. In routine work, the sense of achievement when that task is finished ensures that the remaining tasks are completed with higher motivation. In big dreams, the goal should be divided into the smallest, almost laughably easy steps. For example, instead of writing a book, saying I will write just one paragraph today ensures progress. Starting the day with a constructive ritual, such as reading a book, a healthy breakfast, or meditation, acts as an igniting force for the rest of the day. Even the strongest willpower will one day surrender in an environment that is constantly being provoked. Willpower is not independent of the environment. The environment can be the greatest supporter or the greatest enemy of willpower. Triggers related to the habit that is intended to be changed must be removed from the environment. If one wants to work with focus, the phone should be left in another room. Even hearing notification sounds secretly consumes willpower. Someone who wants to stop eating sweets should not keep sweets at home. Saying it's there but I won't eat it is a battle that tires willpower for no reason. Preparing the environment in advance according to the goals, for example, putting sports clothes in front of the door the night before, reduces friction and facilitates the process. Self-discipline does not mean torturing yourself. A process involving excessive pain cannot be sustained in the long run. To keep willpower alive, the methods applied must be made suitable for one's personality and temperament. Ways should be found to make tasks that are difficult but necessary more enjoyable. For example, someone who gets very bored while exercising can make a favorite podcast exclusive only to the moment of exercise. Thus, the mind matches the difficult action with a reward. Goals should be kept at that delicate balance point that is not difficult enough to tire the person out, but challenging enough to facilitate development. Willpower is not an inherent fixed trait, but a skill that is grown by working on it. By knowing yourself, strengthening your weakest links, managing decision fatigue, and organizing your environment according to your goals, you can become the architect of your own life. The greatest victory is the victory a human wins against their own mind. Which of these is your most effective method on the journey to strengthening your willpower? Let's meet in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to support this journey of development.